Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos. Today's video is going to be yet another unboxing video. I have a lot of fun with these. I hope you do as well. What we have in here are 14 books that I just got back from CGC. These were modern books, so they were graded under the modern tier, and they also got pressing services done at CCS. Now, I want to address something right off the bat. This submission is usually the type of submission that I would absolutely make a test your comic book grading skills video with. But I have to admit, those videos take a lot of work from me, and the viewership has been not great on them. So I decided with this submission not to do test your comic book grading skills. We're just gonna do an unboxing. I also want to mention that these 14 books are part of a 39 book submission that I sent to CGC that once again were all under the modern tier and got pressing at CCS. The other 25 books from this submission will be coming next week. For those of you who don't know, if you submit more than 25 books under the same submission to CGC, they'll break up those submissions, one for a total of 25, and whatever additional ones, whatever additional books are left over, they'll put into additional shipments. It's just the way they do it. They don't ship more than 25 books at a time, so they break them up that way. I also want to mention that this submission, well, the half of this submission that it is, that doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I mentioned this in my last unboxing video. This submission is one of 3 submissions that I sent to CGC, all in the same box. There was this, there was a 9/8 pre-screen, and then there was also a signature series event. Just want to let you all know, for those of you who don't already know, that you can send multiple submissions to CGC in the same box. Just make sure that they're organized in a way so that it's clear which things go with which submission. Okay, I think that's basically it. There was a lot of X-Men books in this submission, so there's probably a lot of X-Men books in here. I have very little expectations as far as the grades are concerned. I'm just excited to have these books graded at all. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get to what we're all here for, which is the unboxing. Now, as always, one of the first things I like to do is I like to assess the packing job that CGC did with this submission. This box size fits up to 15 books. There are 14 in here. Usually I recommend submitting in a way that where you max out how many books you submit to take most full advantage of shipping. If I had done that, I would have submitted one more book and would have been shipped for free, so to speak. But I'm okay with the 14 books in a 15 book box that I have here. As you expect, it is typical CGC stuff with this stuff all the way around. It's a little loose in here. They shoved in a little bit of bubble wrap right here to help fill in space that 15th book would usually take up in this box. It's not moving around very much. I believe that this was packed well, and I do not expect any kind of damages, but we'll wait and see about that. All right, I'm pulling these out at random. I don't know what they are. Once again, I don't know what grade to expect at all. We are just gonna go on this journey together. Let's see what is first here. First, we have, X-Men 123. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of X-Men books in here. It says on the label that this is a newsstand edition, which it is, but it's kind of irrelevant in 1979. Most books in 1979 were newsstands. All right, let's go ahead and show you the grade. And now let me take a look at the grade myself. Basically anything above a 9.0, I'll be very happy with on this book. Let's see. 9.2 white pages. Okay, that's great. This is an old X-Men comic from 1979. If it got a 9.2 with white pages, I'm very happy about that. It's not an especially key book. you know, but it's an older X-Men book. I'm a big X-Men fan, and I'm optimistic for the future of the X-Men in the MCU and what that will do to the value of some of these comics, even when they're not keys, which is part of the reason I got them graded. All right, we have its neighbor here right now. That was X-Men 123 before. Now this is X-Men 122, another newsstand edition, it says on the label. This is another one where as long as it's above a 9.0, I'll be pretty happy with it. I'm hoping for that. Let's see what the grade is. And let me take a look at it myself. 9.2. Okay, and this one is off-white to white pages. That's okay to me on a book this old. The only thing that starts to bum me out is when it starts to get into the off-white or worse category. Those, for whatever reason, I'm not a very big fan of. But off-white to white, I'm fully willing to accept. And the 9.2 grade, I'm happy with as well. Okay, let's see what's next. It's probably an X-Men book, but let's find out. Okay, we have X-Men 133. Once again, another newsstand. This book is amazing. This book is technically not a key, but people love this book because they love this cover. Some people think it's the first solo Wolverine story. I don't believe it technically is because I believe the X-Men do appear on the last page, but it's this great solo Wolverine cover that people love, and this book commands a lot of value, even though it's not a key, because of this cover. Once again, I hope that it is above a 9.0. Let's show you the grade. Something's rattling around in there a little bit. Not that big of a deal. Let's see what we got. Another 9.2 white pages. Okay, this is great. I like 9.2s. 9.2s are great. I mean, they're better than 9.0s. They're not as good as the other 9.4, 9.6, 9.8, but 9.2 is a solid grade. It's a solid grade in this book, and it will have some value in a 9.2. I believe I submitted 2 of these of that 133. Let's see if this is the other one. It is! Yay! All right, so I've said everything there is to say about this. It would be great if this was a 9.2 or above. Let's see what we got. All right, and let me see myself. Another 9.2 white pages. Okay, that's great. If I decide to keep one and sell one, there's no drama about which one is which. Probably I'll keep the one that has the better wrap, because that's kind of the tiebreaker for me. And it looks like that second one has a slightly improved wrap. Even though the wrap doesn't hurt the grade, you know, in some instances to some collectors, like me, I have to admit, on a super high valuable book, the wrap begins to matter to me. This isn't a super high valuable book. I don't think it'll matter to somebody too much. All right, this is X-Men 140. This might be the highest number X-Men I submitted in this particular submission, but I can't guarantee that fact. This is just a fun book with a nice cover. I'm hoping it's a 9.2 or higher. Let's keep that 9.2 train on the tracks. This is what I got. Let me see what we got. 9.4. Okay, great. So this is basically why I submitted a lot of these books, as you can tell. They're older books and they're all above 9.0, so I'm happy to see that the actual grades from CGC are reflecting my impression of these books as being 9.0s and higher. But a 9.4 on that book is very nice. It's not a super valuable book, but in a 9.4 it has some value. Here we have X-Men 137. Oh yeah, this special double-sized issue, Death of Phoenix. Wink, wink. I think once again this is probably a 9.2 or higher. Let's hope that I am correct and show you the grade. And now let's show me the grade. 9.4 white pages. That's great. This is a collectible book. This is a key. This is one people are interested in. In a 9.4 white pages, I think that that's a solid grade with some value present. I like 9.0s and higher generally for my personal collection. But, you know, low grade's better than no grade, like they say, right? Okay, I lied. Yes, we have Books that are higher than 140, I forgot about this one. This is Uncanny X-Men issue number 155. I believe this one is of importance to collectors because it is the first time that Jim Lee worked on an X-Men book.
Very, very wrong. This is X-Men 155 that you're looking at. Right here is X-Men 248. This is the issue of the X-Men where Jim Lee first worked as a penciler. About almost 10 years after this book came out, X-Men 155, the one I was just talking about, the one that's in my hand. This one is the first appearance of the Brood. That's significant. But in my defense, they kind of look like they have rubble, same covers, you know? So I was going off of what I was seeing more than thinking, actually, and if I thought for a second, I would have figured it out. Anyways.
Once again, I'm hoping that this is a 9.2 or higher. Let's see what we got here. 8.0. That is very, very interesting. It does look like it has a nice crease in the corner. Boy, did I completely miss that. We'll take a look at the grader's notes. I'll go ahead and throw them up on the screen right here so I can share those with you. I'm not aware of what they are right now, so I can't comment. But I am very surprised to see that this got an 8.0 because if I thought it was going to get an 8.0, I wouldn't have submitted it. This is a loss for me. I'm going to lose money probably on this one. I don't think I paid very much for the book in the first place. That's a bummer. Okay, so that's the first miss. There may be a second one of these in here. Hopefully we do better with that one. Ah, yes, indeed. Speak of the devil. This is that other copy of issue 155. Let's go ahead and show you what grade I got. I hope it's the 9.2 or above that I was expecting. If it's another 8 something, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be legit sad. 9.6. Okay, great. Great. So there's something about this one. You've seen the grader notes already. I haven't seen them. There must be something egregious about this that I simply missed when I submitted it. This one is much more in line with my expectations of what kind of grades I would expect to get from this submission. A 9.8 would have been great, but a 9.6 is just fine. We have what here? 6 more books to see. Let's go ahead and show you the next one. Oh, yes, I was way off when I thought 140 was the highest number. This is X-Men 184. Now I'm remembering, yes, there are books, maybe even higher than this one. This book I submitted because it is the first appearance of Forge. This is one of those undervalued X-Men keys. People don't really collect this one, but Forge is a really cool character, and I expect to see more from Forge. So I thought I would go ahead and submit this. I'm hoping it comes back like a 9.6 or a 9.8. It looked pretty good when I had it raw. Awesome. That's great. That's great. Once again, this is a bit of an undervalued book, but if Forge ever hits, this is going to be the book to have, and it's going to be in this grade that you're going to want. So I'm really happy to see that I got at least 198, and I got it on this key book. So that is really, really great. All right, let's see. What do we got next here? We have X-Men 160. I forget why this is key. I think that there's something about it. I'll read the label in just a second. Let's address the grade first. I think it should be high. It should definitely be 9.2 or higher because of the age of it and where it was in my collection. I wouldn't have submitted it if it wasn't. So let's go ahead and take a look at the grade. 9.4. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Once again, it's above the 9.2 I was hoping for. This is the first appearance of adult Illyana, otherwise known as Magic. Her actual first appearance in comics, I believe, is in Giant Size X-Men issue number 1, but she's just a little baby in that one when we first meet Colossus. This is her first appearance as an adult. So this could be very collectible. Magic is a very cool character. I don't know if any of you saw the New Mutants movie. It was not a very good movie. But one thing it demonstrated very clearly is that Magic is a rad character and suits the screen very well. So I'm hoping we see more from that character in the MCU or beyond. Yes, okay, as I said, I remember that there's a lot of more books higher than 140. I don't know why I thought 140 was the highest. This is X-Men 210. I believe this is the first appearance of the Marauders. We'll take a look at the label in just a second. I'm really hoping this is a 9.6 or a 9.8. I don't think I would have submitted it if it hadn't been. Let's go ahead and show you the grade. Let me hope, boy, Optimism, 9.4. Okay, so that's okay. I'm a little surprised about that. I mean, at first glance, I'm looking at this. I'll throw up any grader's notes there might be right here because I thought this would have been higher and it actually looks really pretty great. So I'm a little surprised about the 9.4. This is X-Factor and Hellfire Club appearance, and it's the Marauders cameo. I guess their first full appearance comes in X-Men 211, which I know I submitted at least one copy of. We'll see if it's in this submission. Okay, here we have X-Men 201. We talked about the first appearance of Illyana, otherwise known as Magic, as a baby, being in Giant Size X-Men issue number 1 and her adult one being there in that other book. This is the first appearance of, I believe it's Nathaniel Summers, otherwise known as Cable, once again, as a baby in issue number 201 here. I think it should be a 9.4, 9.6, 9.8. I think it should be in that range. I probably wouldn't have submitted it if it wasn't. So let's see if I'm right. 9.8. Great. This is technically like the first appearance of Cable. I don't know if this came out before, what is it? Is it New Mutants 94 or 87? I forget which one is the Deadpool one and which one is the Cable one. But this is just a nice book to have, and especially in a 9.8. 9.8s are always good to have, key or not. And so I'm glad to have this book in a 9.8. All right, only 2 more left to go. Thanks for hanging in there with me. So far, it's been all X-Men, and that train is continuing down the tracks here with X-Men issue number 212. This is the, we talked about 210 that before. This is 212. This is a highly collectible book with some value. I really hope it's getting like a 9.4 or a 9.6. So let's see what the grade is here, because this book does have value, so the higher the better for me. It's a 9.4. Okay, that's great. This is a really tough book to get in high grade because this dark cover shows up every single flaw, especially here along the spine, if there are any spine ticks or anything like that. I feel like the grader might have been a little bit tough on me, but there are spine ticks on here. It's definitely not a 9.8. I guess they felt that there were enough spine ticks to take it out of the 9.6 range and into the 9.4 range. All right, here's the last book that we will be looking at in this submission. And yes, okay, great. So it's X-Men issue number 211. It's got that great border from the Marvel, what was it, the 25th anniversary or 25th anniversary. This is a really great book, and it's also collectible. Yeah, this is this 212 I just showed you is collectible because of the Wolverine versus Sabretooth battle in it. This one, I believe, is the first full appearance of the Marauders. We'll check that in a second, but let's look at the grade. I think it should be a 9.4 or 9.6. You know, I'll take a 9.8 though. I'm not, gonna say no. Let's see what it is. It's a 9.8. Great. That is great. Actually, you know what? I remember I expected this to get a 9.8. I have the copy of this I submitted was very, very clean, and I was like, oh boy, if anything was going to get a 9.8, it was going to be this one. I remember now. And so I'm glad to see that my expectations were met with this one, and it did get a 9.8, and it is the first full appearance of the Marauders. So it's technically key. If we ever see the Marauders on the screen, this will be a great book to have, and a great book in a 9.8. Okay, so these were the first 14 books from this 39 book submission. We're going to see the other 25 books. I just got the notification, I think yesterday, that they've shipped. So they'll come next week. I'll have that video for you then. I promised you in that collection of 25, there's more than just X-Men books to look at. So if the X-Men aren't your thing, there hopefully will be something in that half of the submission that you will enjoy. If you like this video, likes are very much appreciated by me. They help me out a lot. So please, I encourage you to hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed and you want to see what else is coming from me from this submission, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button as well so you're notified when I post the video of the unboxing of the rest of these. All right, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.